which is what I tell my students all the time: don't throw away your stuff, because you never know when you might need it again. Something might fall in the studio, and all of a sudden, oh snap, that could be a piece on its own, or it'll trigger another piece. Like, it's
Mhm.
important to keep even what you think is garbage,
Mhm.
because it might come back. So this was one of those where I was like, oh, I like the silhouette when I cut it out of the print, because I also am a printmaker, um,
Mhm.
which I'm constantly like cutting and collaging. Um, and collage work became really important to me when I was pregnant with my first child, because I needed to work smaller, right? So this piece is actually, I think it's 14 by 11, so it's a
Mhm.
little bit smaller. I went to Opelika, which is, not what people think of when they think of Miami. Like you were mentioning, like South Beach is where you go, right, when you come as a visitor, but you don't go into real Miami, like what
Mhm.
it needs to be for people that live here.
Mhm.
And I took pictures of these places and cut them out and created this silhouette out of, different areas in Opelika, and sometimes Little Havana or Little Haiti, um, and places that are, again, getting gentrified slowly. So it's kind of like an homage, this one, to the real Miami, and, a girl that's grown up in these particular locations and what it means to me.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I'm going to switch to Patricia in a moment, but while I start our conversation with Patricia, I want you to think about the question of blackness.
Yes.
Like when you're creating these pieces, are you how does the idea or the question of blackness emerge in the subject, the form, and the decisions that you're making? So, in terms of the compositions. So I'm going to leave you with that for a moment. And then I'm going to switch over a little bit to Patricia, because part of I wanted to do this transition here, Patricia, partly because you also work with shadows and cutouts, and I thought it was a good place to begin. And you're also interested in a kind in Black embodiment, and but you tend to work in series, which is slightly different from Candy. And you both use collage a lot as well, so there are lots of similarities here. And I thought that this piece and this series, in a sense, connected you both, your bodies of work in really interesting ways. So I'm here trying to think of Miami as a subject in Candy's work, even though she's resisting me a little bit. But I want you to talk about place and blackness and your use of the shadow or the negative space, even though that's not a complete shadow when I look at it very carefully. What are you suggesting through that in your piece, where we could also say that in Miami, right? Your I Live Where You Vacation series, and particularly this collage work that you're doing here.
Yeah. Well, thank you, first of all, everyone, for tuning in and be here with us. Candy, I really love your work, and there were a few things that I would like to piggyback and go back to it. Yeah, I love the whole idea of black fashion and the core with the whole Rittenhouse situation case too. It's such like important conversations that we can like have and continue forever, but we have limited time today. And about the series I'm from, where you vacation, similar to Candy, I also try to center the figures, normally female figures as well. The whole series is like challenging the idea of Caribbean as paradise.